Hey there, thank you for joining me for today's practice. My name's Paula. Today is a prenatal yoga sequence. It's a very gentle sequence where we'll mobilize and release through the whole body, but particularly the upper body and the hips. So if you've got some props, it makes it a lot nicer. You'll need it probably for that for the beginning, and then also just later on when we're coming into our Shavasana position as well. I've set up a blanket, so I'll just show you here, just nice and wide to cover, just makes us nice and comfortable. And I've got a bolster. You could use some nice firm cushions as well. We're just going to lie back for the upper body at the beginning. I've got a block just for underneath the head, and I've just got an extra blanket as well. So if you've got a couple of those things, just take your time and get yourself ready. And then when you're ready to begin, we're going to start lying down on our back. So just starting to set yourself up, placing your feet flat down to the ground or the mat, and then lying the upper body down so your shoulders can fall off the bolster or your cushions and your head can rest down onto the block. For some of us, we might feel comfortable to just lie all the way back. Just see how you feel and what feels better for your neck. Just letting those arms just come out to the side, palms facing down, palms facing up, and then you can let those legs just be long. Let the feet fall away from one another, closing down the eyes. Starting to take a few deeper, fuller breaths here. Just allowing the shoulders fall back down towards the mat. With the bolster underneath the upper body, just seeing if that allows you to increase the breath. So expanding into your inhale and then slowing down the exhale. Feeling free to stay in stillness in this position. If you'd like to experiment with just taking it a little bit further but being a bit more supported, we're going to remove the block from underneath the head. So just shift it out of the way but keep it so you can still grab it. And then interlace the fingers at the base of the head. So you're just cradling the head. Thumbs are pointing down towards your shoulders. And then just letting the head relax back. And you're creating a bit of traction with your hands. You're still lengthening out the neck. Elbows, rather than right out to the side, winged, you want to hug them in a little bit, pointing backwards. If you feel comfortable to keep your eyes closed, feeling free, or you could open up your eyes. Just continuing to use your hands just to create that gentle traction, lengthening up through the neck and the upper spine. At the same time, allowing the head to rest back towards the hands and down towards the ground. Just noticing if any space starts to open up. Last few breaths here. And maybe for the last few moments, you might be able to just release your hands from beneath the head, extend those arms out, hooking the thumbs, reaching the fingertips away, extending out through both sides of the waist, lengthening out through the fingertips. Let's take a deep breath in and then stay for the exhale. One more time. Deep breath in and staying for the exhale. And then gently release those arms. You can use your hands back to cradle the head so it's not just hanging there. And then use your left arm, your right arm's crossing the body. So you're going to roll over to that left hand side. So we're going to make our way back up. Use your left forearm to come onto the mat and then press yourself back up to a seated position. Coming to face the top of your mat, bending the knees. You can keep the knees really nice and wide, feet flat down onto the mat. Hands can be under the thighs or on top of the shins. We're going to take a cat-cow here. Just going to take an inhale, reach the sternum up, lifting the eyes. As you exhale, C curve through the spine. Draw the middle part of the spine back, chin dropping in. And then again, inhale, shift the pelvis forward, arching through the spine, shoulders away from the ears. And then exhaling, C curve. And then again, inhaling. And exhaling. And then inhale, just come back up to your neutral spine. Turning, so you're going to be on your right hip. The bolster stays exactly where it is. And we're going to be stacking one knee on top of the other and laying down the upper rib cage down onto the bolster. So you're laying yourself down, extend that right arm away, and then letting your head drop down. If you want a little blanket or a cushion underneath here, that can feel quite nice if you need a bit more support for your neck. So feel free to do that. Let the head drop down. If you need support for the legs, pop a cushion or a block in between the legs. Otherwise, just bring that left arm up and over. We're going to hold onto that left wrist. Make sure that you're not too low down, trying to target that upper body. Gentle lengthening of that top wrist. Just feeling into that left upper side of the rib cage, into the armpit. You might even feel it into your lower back. Just noticing if you can let go of any unnecessary effort here. Letting go of the muscles of the face, the shoulders. Three more full breaths. Gently releasing that top wrist. Starting to come up, using your right forearm, use your left hand, press yourself up to a seated position, and then turning to face the top of your mat. And once again, knees nice and wide, feet grounding down, hands going to be behind, on top of the shins. I'm just going to try behind this time. And take an inhale to lengthen and extend the spine, sternum lifting up. Inhale. As you exhale, C curve through the spine, tucking the chin in. And then again, inhale, draw the tips of the shoulders away from the ears, lift up through the sternum, lift the eyes, and then exhaling. Go one more time, inhale. And then exhale. And then inhale, coming back up to your neutral spine. And let's set up for the other side. So we're going to lie down on the left side of the ribcage, so coming onto your left hip. That upper rib cage lying down onto the bolster. Keeping your hips in line with your shoulders, extending that left arm long, maybe popping a cushion underneath here if you'd like to, or a blanket. Taking hold of that top wrist, that right wrist, gently lengthening it away. Deep, easy breaths. letting go of any unnecessary effort. Muscles at the base of the neck, just relaxing away from the ears. Allowing the legs to be heavy. Last few breaths here. And then let's release that top hand. Using that right hand and the left forearm, press yourself up to a seated position. And then just coming upright, coming into simple crossed legs. And pop your bolster out of the way for now. And if you do want to sit up on a blanket, then feel free to just prop your hips up a little bit higher. Let's have the right leg in front, crossing the legs over. Just take a few moments, hands resting down onto the thighs, closing down your eyes. Feeling the shoulders drop away from the ears. Following the breathing in and out through the nose. And then let's gently open up the eyes. Just releasing the arms down by your side. I'm going to take an inhale, reach the arms up, and then as you exhale, just crossing the arms down over through the center. And again, inhale, reaching the arms up, lifting up through both sides of the waist, and then exhaling. And then again, inhaling, and then exhaling. Taking that right hand away from you, placing the palm of the hand down, or maybe coming down to the forearm, left arm up and over. Keeping that left sitting bone grounding down, and turning the eyes to look up, or just continue looking straight ahead if that's better for your neck. Dropping the right shoulder away from that right ear. Take one more inhale here. And then as you exhale, just turn the head to look back to center. I'm going to bring this left arm behind you. So wrapping it behind the back, drawing the tip of that left shoulder away from that left ear, and then turning the head to look down towards that right arm. So just opening up through that left side of the neck and upper trapezius. You could gently tuck the chin in slightly to increase that stretch sensation. And then turn the head to look back to center. Release that left arm. Let's take it up all the way over. And then on the next inhale, coming back up to center. And then let's swap the legs around. So we're going to go left leg in front now. Arms down by your side. And then once again, taking an inhale, reach the arms up, and then exhale to cross the arms down through the center. And again, inhaling and exhaling. One more time, inhale and exhaling. Now taking that left hand away from the hip and place the palm down, maybe the forearm, right arm up and over, grounding down through that right sitting bone. And then just choosing if you want to look up or just keep looking straight ahead. And sometimes that left shoulder will want to creep up a little bit. You want to try to drop it away from the left ear. And then let's turn the head to look to center and wrapping that right arm behind the back. So drawing the tip of that right shoulder away from that right ear and then turning the head to look down towards that left arm. So we're opening up that right side of the neck and upper trapezius now. Maybe tucking the chin in ever so slightly to increase that stretch as you draw the tip of the right shoulder away from the right ear. Just one more full breath. And then releasing that back arm. Head back to center, taking that right arm all the way up and over. Yes. On your next inhale, let's come all the way back up. Take the legs out long for a moment. Just give the legs a little bit of a shake out, lengthening out through the lower back. And then bringing that right heel in towards the groin and then fold this left foot back. So the left toes are pointing back behind you. Try to keep this left hip dropping down and arms down by your side for a moment. And then we're going to take this right hand back behind you. You might want to place your right hand on a block if you need a little bit more height, but if you can, just palm flat onto the ground, circle this left arm all the way over to the right. We're going to lift the hips up, looking up towards the ceiling, reaching that left arm up and slightly back. Just taking a big full breath here. And then on your next in-breath, sitting the hips down, just reversing that left arm all the way down. Take an inhale. As you exhale, twisting to the right, we're going to place the back of that left hand to the inside of that left knee, right hand back behind you, looking over that right shoulder. And then from here, we're going to place that left hand just a little bit further away on that diagonal line. And then we're going to start to bring this left arm up and over. You might stay on your right hand, or you might be able to come all the way down onto that right forearm. Reaching that left arm up and over. Maybe turning the eyes to look up towards the ceiling. And then turn the head back to center as you take an inhale, pressing down to that right hand, coming all the way back up. And then let's swap it around. Taking the legs out long for a moment. Bring the left heel in, and then that right foot folding back, toes pointing back if you can, hands down beside you. And then placing that left hand slightly behind your, palm flat if you can, to the left side, circling that right arm, lifting the hips up, pressing the pelvis forward, reaching that right arm up and back, taking a full breath here, and then taking an inhale, reversing to come all the way back to center. Hands by your side, take an inhale. And then exhale, back of that right hand to the inside of the right knee, twisting to your left. That right hip keeps dropping down. So you might just want to shift a little bit forward. It's encouraging both sit bones to ground down. And then starting to take that left hand a little bit further away on the diagonal. You might stay on your hand, or you might be able to take it down to the forearm, right arm up and over, either looking forward or taking the eyes to look up. And then bringing the eyes to look back to center, and then taking an inhale, coming all the way back up. Now extend those legs out long for a moment. Let's give them a little bit of a wriggle out. And now we're going to take our legs out wide into our Upavishta Konasana. So if you do want to sit up a little bit higher up onto a blanket, please feel free. And then taking your legs out, they don't have to go too wide. You just take them out to where it feels like you can hold it for a few breaths. And I gently press down through the backs of the legs. Use the hands behind you. Lift up out of the lower back. Tips the shoulders away from the ears. Flexing through both feet. Just stay here for a couple of breaths. And then when you're ready, you bring your hands forward and you can start to shift forward just to where you can. Keep active through the legs. Palms, the hands down. You might use a block here. You can come all the way forward. If you feel comfortable, you can come down onto your block on your forearms or just down onto the ground. Sense of those sitting bones just drawing away from one another here as you lengthen through the lower back to come forward, but no forcing. Just 3 more full breaths. And then let's start to walk the hands back up. Hands underneath the legs, bringing the legs back towards one another and just giving them a little bit of a wriggle out here. And then let's set ourselves up for our Shavasana. So popping the bolster down in front, having a blanket for your head, lying down on the left side of the body. Just bringing in your bolster, your cushions, or maybe even just your blocks, and making yourself feel as comfortable as you can. When you're ready, closing down the eyes. And let's take a deep breath in through the nose and out through the mouth. Just one more time like that. Deep breath in through the nose, out through the mouth. Just allowing the breathing to settle back into its natural rhythm. A sense of surrendering the weight of the whole body. And feeling supported by the ground underneath you. And allowing yourself to come to complete rest. Just keeping a very light attention on the breathing in and out through the nose. And please feel free to stay here for as long as you would like to. Thank you so much for joining me today. I'll see you next time. Namaste.